Unit 1.1. We're going to take a quick look at some vocabulary that we'll be using all year long. Now, I'm starting off here with the bit, and it says the smallest unit of data, 0 or 1, a byte being 8 bits. Then these are some of the things you will hear about computers, what's a kilobyte and gigabytes and so on. And I have some nice little fun facts here. We're going to do some decimal conversions, binary, decimal, hexadecimal. We also have application software, which is a computer program or programs, could be more than one, designed for end users. So for examples are Word, iTunes, Excel, any app that you use. System software, though, is the platform on which the applications run. So we're looking at things like operating systems, Windows, Mac, iOS. Primary memory is temporary memory. Everything is stored temporarily, meaning if you close the app or if you turn the computer off, it's lost. This is in cache and RAM. Secondary memory is permanent memory. This is stuff that you save to come back to at a later date. It's a database, hard drive, a file. RAM is random access memory. I mentioned it up here. So going down, all of these things we're going to be talking about, and all of these things we're going to be seeing. JRE is the Java Runtime Environment. JVM, Java Virtual Machine. JDK, Java Development Kit. API, Application Programming Interface. These are tools to help developers, tools that are already made. Same here too, Abstract Window Toolkit, which is also part of the API. Class is an object's definition consisting of attributes, constructors, and behaviors. Object is a specific instance of a class, a method, an action, or behavior that an object or a class perform. Object or a class performs. Main method is the only method needed to create an app. Syntax error, you're going to come across this, where you have incorrectly written code and your program cannot run. That's the failure for execution. Logic error, the program runs, but the results are incorrect or unexpected. Protocol is a communication standard. For example, you want to speak, you raise your hand. TCP/IP, Transmission Control Protocol / Internet Protocol. This is the protocol that actually runs the web access. So if you want to connect to, let's say, Google, this is called a three-way handshake. You first send out a packet saying, I would like to connect, and then Google sends back an answer saying whether you can connect or not, whether they accept your request. So if you say, hey, I would like to connect, you say, okay, you can connect, then you connect. So that's the three-way handshake. Ask first, you request, an answer comes back, is either denial or an acceptance. If the acceptance occurs, then you go ahead and I know it feels like it happens quickly when you using the web, but those three things happen. Speaking of the web, www stands for World Wide Web. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. HTTPS, that's Hypertext Transfer Protocol, but secured. You want to look at that when you're using the web. Make sure you see that S. A variable is a quantity that changes. A constant, obviously, is one that does not change. Here are a bunch of variables. We're going to be using a number of these. And you have their sizes as well. So, for example, an integer is 4 bytes. How many bits is that? 32. How do I know? Because 8 bits is in 1 byte. Double is 8 bytes. That's 64 bits. And you can keep coming down here. You'll see char, boolean. Boolean happens to be 1 bit. It's just true or false, which is either 0 or 1. I should say 1 or 0, because 1 is for true and 0 is for false. Come down here, we're going to see some scope, the variable visibility. We have this object here, which is a complex data type, not a primitive. These are all primitives, but the object himself is a big part of what we're going to be doing, because we're going to be doing object-oriented programming, but this is not a primitive. Then we're going to have some working with integers, understanding how to add, subtract, multiply, divide, and mod. We're going to do compound operators, pre-incrementing and post-incrementing. All these words, all these vocabs we're going to be seeing. Boolean logic, we're going to deal with and ors and nots. We're going to also do truth tables, and we're going to also do the Morgan's logs for factoring and distributing a knot. Then we're going to jump into control structures as well, and we're going to do all of them. Sequential, which is one step at a time. Selection, if, else, switch. Repetition, these are loops, while, do, while, and for. We're going to do random number generation. We're going to random number generation from the random or the math API. We're going to do getters and setters, which is accessors and mutator methods, special types of methods. And then we're going to get some data structures, all lists. We're going to get a one-dimensional array, which is an indexed list. Two-dimensional array is an indexed tabular format. And then we have an array list, which happens to be a dynamic array, which has the ability to grow and shrink, also indexed. So this is pretty much all the vocab that we will be seeing. We'll be seeing some more. Some of the other vocabs that are less important are not on this list, but these are the most important ones. So what you got to do now is you have to study these 2 pages, okay? Because the first quiz or the first couple of quizzes are going to have these things on, just to make sure that you're actually studying them. So you want to make sure you grab these, study them. It's going to be posted as well online, and you want to make sure you prepare, okay? So you're going to walk through each one of these. You could either make notes as well, take down this document and make additional notes if you need to, and study these, okay? 2 pages of information expected of you. Unit 1.1, it's a wrap.